Today, something inside you sent out a silent call, and heaven answered. It's no coincidence these words have found you right now. This is the exact moment the unseen chooses to whisper, "I am here," and your waiting is coming to an end. This message didn't arrive by accident. It's here, for you, right now. Why? Because today, you're going to hear words that can turn your entire life around in a single breath. Today, you're going to realize your divine miracle isn't on its way. It's already here, already arrived, ready to unfold. All that's missing is your yes of faith to open it fully. Understand this clearly. Some things only unlock through faith. And today, your faith is about to receive a fresh wind, a powerful surge that can change everything once and for all. I want you fully present with every word. Let your heart stay connected without drifting even for a second. Before we go deeper, take 30 seconds right now and write in the comments what your heart truly feels in this moment. One simple, honest sentence that comes straight from you. Something like, "I feel a light turning on inside me," or "I've waited for this breath for so long," or simply, "Thank you, I'm ready." No need to be long or perfect, just real. Do it now before your mind takes over again. This small act already anchors this message into your real life, and you'll feel something starting to shift deep within. What you're about to hear isn't motivational advice or a quote pulled from a book. It's a direct call to awaken the deep trust in what God has already placed inside you. It's a voice reaching for the most intimate part of your being, because what God has prepared for you can no longer wait. I'm speaking to you about a miracle, not some vague hope, not something that might or might not happen. I'm speaking about a miracle that has already been sent, already approved in the unseen, already in motion, and now only waiting for your faithful response to become visible in your everyday life. Maybe you've waited in silence. Maybe you've prayed in secret while your heart overflowed with tears. Maybe you felt exhausted, confused, unsure if God was really listening. If that's you, listen with your whole being. What I'm about to say is bigger than your doubts, stronger than your fears, wiser than your thoughts, and truer than any broken promise you've ever heard. Picture this for a second. God looking straight into your eyes and saying, "I heard every single prayer. I collected every tear. I answered before you even finished asking. Your miracle is already here. Open it with faith." It might feel too beautiful, too big. Your mind might push back. Your human side might whisper to lower your expectations so you don't get hurt again. But today, I invite you to rise above that voice and listen to the faith that lives inside you. The faith that reminds you, no matter how long your night has been, the miracle has been sent, and all that's missing is your trust to activate it. No matter what you've been through, no matter the rejection, the forgotten moments, the times you felt completely powerless, what God has for you right now is bigger than all of that. Bigger than the most impossible obstacles you faced, bigger than every closed door you've encountered. This miracle is the answer to years of waiting, nights of battle, moments of despair, and today, all of that becomes the prelude to your victory. I ask you not to close this video too soon. Don't let your mind pull you away. Stay right here. Open your heart wide and let your faith rise. What you're about to hear can awaken parts of your spirit you didn't even know were asleep, touch places you thought were closed forever. This isn't just a message, it's a declaration of hope, a call to stop relying on your own strength and lean into the power of God that is already moving for you. Your miracle isn't coming tomorrow. It isn't waiting until you're ready. It's here, now. All it needs is your faith to open it. I want you to understand one essential thing right from this moment.
Miracles don't always arrive the way people picture them. Sometimes they don't come with noise or immediate visible signs. Very often, they show up first as a confirmation deep in your heart, as a peace you can't explain, as a quiet certainty that whispers, "It's already done." And that is exactly what's happening inside you right now. God doesn't work with delays, He works with processes. Even when you felt everything was frozen, in reality, He was adjusting every detail so the miracle would arrive whole, flawless. And at the perfect moment, nothing was lost, no prayer was ignored, no tear was wasted, everything was counted. Maybe you've wondered why others seemed to receive faster. Maybe you compared your path and felt God had overlooked you. But listen carefully, God never overlooked you for even 1 second. He was preparing something that wouldn't just fix part of your problem, it would transform your entire life from the root. The miracle arriving isn't small, isn't temporary, isn't fragile. It comes with purpose, with restoration, with direction, and with peace. That's why it took time, why it hurt, why you had to walk through steps you couldn't understand. Because what God gives now requires a more mature faith, a stronger mind, a more trusting heart. Today, God tells you not to be afraid to open what He has already given you. Many people don't receive because they're afraid to believe again, afraid to hope, afraid to trust, afraid it won't work. But true faith isn't built on human guarantees. It's built on the certainty that God keeps His word. When you open this miracle with faith, you'll see impossible situations start to move. Blocked conversations will open. Locked doors will give way. Burdens carried for years will begin to lift. And most importantly, your inner world will start to heal. This is the moment to align with what God has already decided for you. Not with what you see, not with what you feel, not with what others say, but with what He has spoken over your life. Because when you align with His will, the miracle shifts from distant hope to present reality. I want you to take part in this moment, not as a spectator, but as someone who chooses to believe. Write in the comments this simple declaration: I receive this miracle with faith and trust in God. By doing it, you're not just writing words, you're affirming with your heart that you believe, that you trust, and that you're ready to receive. Faith activates when it's spoken, when it's declared, when it's released without holding back. Remember, God never arrives late. God arrives when the miracle can stay. And today, your heart is ready. Your faith is ready. Your moment is here. There's a truth you need to grasp right now. When God announces a miracle, He doesn't do it to create empty expectation. He does it because the decision has already been made. And when God decides, nothing and no one can cancel what He has established. Heaven doesn't doubt, doesn't backtrack, doesn't change its mind. What He has declared over your life stands firm, even when your current circumstances scream otherwise. Maybe you're in a place where everything feels stuck. The same worries, the same questions, the same silence. But listen closely, the miracle doesn't change the outside first, it changes you first. And when your inside changes, everything else follows. God is strengthening your character, your patience, your trust, not to test you, but so you can carry what's coming. Because this miracle isn't a temporary fix, it's a new chapter of life. And every new chapter requires a stronger you. Maybe in the past you asked for something similar and it didn't happen the way you hoped. That doesn't mean you failed or that God denied you. It means the timing wasn't ripe. Now it is. Now your heart is more ready to receive, to hold, and to honor what you're about to be given. This is a moment of spiritual alignment, a moment when God invites you to leave behind anxiety, rushing, despair. Because when you rush, you burn out, but when you trust, you move forward in peace. The miracle arriving doesn't only answer an outer need, it touches an inner wound, a deep exhaustion, a cry you may never have spoken aloud, but that God heard with perfect clarity. That's why today he tells you not to look back with regret or forward with fear. Look at this present with faith, because right here and right now is where he is moving. Even if you can't see it yet, it's already happening. Many give up just before the breakthrough.
They tire just when the answer is closest. But you didn't come this far to turn back. You came this far to receive. God doesn't waste pain, doesn't waste trials, doesn't waste waiting. Everything you've walked through had meaning, and now that meaning is beginning to reveal itself, not as coincidence, but as clear confirmation. Keep this truth engraved in your heart. When God opens a door, he doesn't do it halfway. He does it completely, solidly, surely, and no one can shut it. This miracle doesn't depend on your past, your mistakes, or your limits. It depends only on God's power and your choice to believe. And today, that choice has already been made. Stay steady. Don't lower your guard. Don't let your faith fade. What's coming is real. What's coming is good. What's coming carries God's seal. Now feel something essential. Before receiving a miracle, God wants your heart to be freed from everything holding it back, because even the greatest miracles can pass unnoticed if the mind is cluttered with doubt, if the heart carries resentment, or if the soul remains trapped in fear. God is calling you today to release all of that, to let go of worries that aren't yours, memories that still wound, thoughts that paralyze you. The miracle coming can't enter where mistrust reigns. It can't touch the depths of your life if there's no space to receive it. This is the moment to open your hands, open your heart, prepare your mind for what's arriving. Because when God sends a miracle, he wants you to receive it fully, not halfway, not limited, but with your whole being. Maybe you've gotten used to receiving little, settling for crumbs, but today, God invites you to receive in abundance. Everything he has prepared for you far exceeds what you imagined, surpasses your expectations, overcomes your fears, and purifies every doubt born in your heart. While you listen to these words, do a silent act of faith. Breathe deeply and repeat in your heart, I am ready to receive the miracle God has prepared for me. Each repetition removes invisible barriers, strengthens your trust, and opens space for the blessing to enter fully. Because faith activates what has already been sent, and today, your faith is more alive than ever. This miracle about to manifest doesn't just solve a problem, it transforms. It returns the peace you thought was lost, renews your hope, and prepares you for a future filled with blessings. You're not receiving something temporary, you're receiving a lasting change that God designed especially for you. Stay steady, don't doubt, don't get discouraged. The miracle is already here. All that's left is to recognize it, receive it, and embrace it with faith. Your moment has arrived, and God is by your side every step of the way. Now understand this at the deepest level. Miracles aren't limited to what we can imagine. Often we think what we ask for has a boundary, but God operates far beyond our expectations. He doesn't measure with our logic, he moves with divine power, and when he does, the impossible becomes reality. This is the moment to leave every doubting thought behind. This is the moment to decide clearly that you will receive what God has prepared for you. Faith isn't just believing, it's declaring. It's acting from the certainty that what God promised is already done. Maybe you've carried this waiting for a long time. Maybe you've prayed over and over without seeing immediate results. Today, understand this. The miracle that has arrived isn't measured by time, but by God's faithfulness. He never arrives late. He arrives when everything is ready for you to receive it fully. And there's one more thing. The more active your faith is, the more obvious the miracle's manifestation will be. Every word of trust, every sincere prayer, every declaration of faith is a step that makes the invisible visible. It's like turning on a light that reveals what has been there all along. Today, God calls you to look forward with hope and not let doubts cloud your vision.
Everything you need to receive is already in you: your faith, your willingness, your open heart. No matter how big the challenge, no matter how impossible it seemed, God's power is greater than any obstacle. Make an act of faith right now, even in silence. Repeat in your heart, "My miracle has arrived, and I receive it with faith, trust, and gratitude." Every time you repeat it, you activate God's presence in your life. You open the door to transformation. You align your heart with the blessing and invite the miracle to manifest fully. Never forget, the miracle doesn't depend on your strength or your merits. It depends only on God and your willingness to believe. And today, that willingness is more alive than ever. Now feel this clearly. Your miracle didn't arrive by chance. It arrived because God sent it, because He saw your heart, your perseverance, your faith, and decided this was the perfect time. Everything you've lived through, every trial, every tear, every weight had one purpose: to prepare you for this moment. This is the time to leave anxiety and doubt behind. Every worry you hold is an obstacle limiting the blessing's reception. God wants your heart completely free to receive fully what He has already set in motion for you. Remember, divine miracles don't come halfway. When God acts, all His power moves. And today, everything you've waited for, everything your heart desired in silence, begins to show itself concretely in your life. I want you to remember something essential. Faith is the key that unlocks the impossible. Every word of trust, every declaration of hope, every sincere prayer has prepared this moment. And now the miracle is no longer a distant promise, it's a reality ready to touch your life. Don't let fear or anxiety stop you. Open your heart, open your mind, and receive with gratitude what God has placed in your hands. Today is the day of liberation, restoration, renewal. Today is the day your life begins to reflect God's work in all its splendor. Make one final act of faith right now. Repeat in your heart or out loud, "I receive my divine miracle with faith, trust, and gratitude, and I allow it to transform my life completely." With this declaration, you affirm what God has already done and invite it to manifest totally and lastingly. Your heart fills with peace, your mind with clarity, and your life aligns with what God prepared for you. Always remember, your miracle doesn't arrive late, it arrives at the exact moment, and today it is here. All that's left is to receive it with faith. Keep your faith, your heart open, your spirit trusting, because what God began does not stop. What He promised is fulfilled. What He sent is already yours. This is your moment. Your miracle is here. Open it with faith, trust, and receive, because God never fails. If these words have touched something deep within you, simply write in the comments, "I receive my miracle with faith," or just, "I am ready." Do it now with sincerity and share this message with someone who needs to hear that their miracle is already here, waiting only for their faith to manifest. Your simple action could become the answer they've been searching for without knowing it. The best is not behind you. It begins now.